Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Patricio. The information. The lady of the hour.
Hey, team. Oh, no,
we got an echo.
Can you hear me?
All right. Wow. Okay. Sorry for the little technical issues at the beginning of the show. Hi, everybody. My name is Patricio, and of course, I'm always joined by attorney Erin Morse. How you doing today?
So good. How are you?
I'm doing good. We're trying a new format right now, and we're gonna get the logo in right there. Give me one second.
Can we hear you?
Marcos, can you check on Facebook if you can hear us? Because right now we are streaming not only on Facebook, YouTube, but also on your Instagram page.
Oh, so yeah.
We're all over the place.
I know. No one really cares to watch Instagram Live.
We're good right there? Okay, beautiful. So how you been?
So good. Busy. It's busy.
It's been a lot of changes here at the office, huh?
Yeah, some good changes. I'm happy. I'm looking forward to it, you know.
And how have you been since the last time we chatted?
Good. It's more quarantine. I guess we're opening light. The state of Florida.
I went to a bar last night with one of our coworkers, and people are actually out and about now. The inside of the place was very restricted, but outside they had chairs, they had tables, and everybody was taking advantage of that.
Yeah. I think we're all tired of being inside.
Oh, totally.
Like, myself included. That's for sure.
What have you? I always ask you this, but like, what have you been doing to like pass the time while at home?
Well, first of all, I'm busy. Like we're still working with our clients, and we still have work that we can do. Certain cases are settling, kind of moving through those issues, which is really good. I'm able to use this time as an opportunity to get settlement in a lot of my cases, and still, bring certain issues forward and have hearings. I had 4 hearings this week.
You were busy.
Yeah, it was a lot.
And I think you actually had an in-person one this.
I did. I had an injunction, and since those are considered emergencies, the court does open up for those.
So how was it over there? Like, was that your first in-person hearing, or?
Yeah, since the Rona. Yeah.
Was it like any different than any other normal proceedings?
The deputies kind of made some underlying jokes about being 6 feet apart and kind of laughed it off. The judges typically, up on a podium-like area where they sit in their desk. So it wasn't that difficult to be practicing social distancing, except from your own client, right? Because if you're 6 feet away from each other, there's no confidentiality. So you really just have no choice but to,
like
quietly.
Closer.
Yeah, right. You have no, so it's good. And of course it's at the time when it's for an emergency. So again, it's limited. But I wonder, I'm like trying to feel it out to see how long we're going to end up in this place where we continue to have these virtual hearings.
Because as of right now, it's still in place till January. I mean, not January. Oh, that'd be crazy. July 2nd, right?
Yeah, but they keep extending it, and I'm suspicious it'll get extended at least once more.
So if you were a betting person, you would put your money on extension.
I would. I actually heard someone say that they believe, a judge say, and I won't say who, that they think it might last for a whole year.
Ooh.
That we won't do in person.
Oh man, can you imagine it going a year, or?
Yeah, I can.
Oh.
Yeah,
I can't. I hope this thing just gets resolved. We find a cure. We find treatment or something that we can just put this.
I do hope that we find treatment. Right. We don't need to put people in a position where their health is compromised, and of course that's obviously everyone's biggest concern. We shut down the whole world about it. So
yeah.
If you ever felt like people didn't care about you, the coronavirus tell you different.
I want before we go into the Q&As, I got a really crazy question to ask you because, as always, we're always talking about Batman in one way or another.
My superheroes, yeah.
How do you feel about Robert Pattinson? Is it Patterson or
I think it's Pattinson.
Pattinson?
Yeah.
Twilight being Batman.
I don't have a lot of feelings about that.
You're still.
He was such a skinny, sparkly. I don't know. He was very skinny, so I really can't see it. I don't think it was a hard, jump mentally to see Ben Affleck being like really buff and thick and muscular, right? I don't think it was a mental lunge for Christian Bale to be muscular and strong seeming. I don't think it was a mental lunge to see oh my god, what's his name?
Because like Michael Keaton really didn't get buff for the role. He stayed
right, but his was like built in.
Yeah,
but
like they had the muscles on the.
Who's the other one with Mr. Freeze?
Oh, Val Kilmer.
No, keep going.
Oh, George Clooney.
Yes.
Yes.
That wasn't very difficult for us to see him as putting on muscle or.
Well, no, even on that suit, Joe Schumacher put nipples on the suit.
Yeah.
There was no need for Batman to have nipples, and that's always been
didn't need nipples.
an argument in the social media world where Joe Schumacher messed up Batman by giving him nipples.
Yeah. That was weird. I think that I don't know. I can't picture him being muscular because Batman has no superpowers.
No.
He's just rich, right? Creative, technical. Maybe he's really smart and he can create things, right? He's an inventor.
Yeah.
So he's kind of like the Ben Franklin of the superheroes.
Ah, wow, that's a pretty good comparison right there.
Bam. Ben Franklin of superheroes, right?
Oh, beautiful. Are you ready to dive in?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right.
I'm about it.
You about it. Let's do it. All right. First one coming up is right here. My divorce cannot be settled in mediation, so we'll be going to trial. Can my wife use my social media posts as evidence to try and make me look bad?
Yes.
So anything that party puts
It's
on.
all free game.
All free game.
Even if you think that you have a private social media account or accounts, if it is posted to anybody, you kind of breach your own privacy.
Oh, because it's on a public forum.
Right.
So anything that I may have posted like 4 or 5 years ago can be used against me.
Right.
Wow. So on that, okay, now I have to reconsider everything that I posted over the past few years.
Yeah, and your pending divorce.
Thank you so much for that question. So yeah, be careful what you post on social media.
Yeah, and we can get your text messages into evidence too. So you think
text messages too?
Yeah, if you think you can't get text messages into evidence, keep
thinking. I mean,
keep texting like that. Should text and post as though the judge were reading it. If it's not something you would be proud for the judge to see on a blown up screen behind you, don't put it out there.
Good advice right there. The next one coming up is, here we go. What if the father refuses to return the child to me? No custody agreement, just injunction that allows him visitation. I agree to let him have some visitations in injunction.
So if he refuses to return the child to you, you go back to your injunction case and you file a motion for contempt in that injunction case. But you'd be better suited to file a case in the circuit court to get some finalization. Because once the injunction is over, whatever the term of the injunction is, you no longer have a agreement because that case is like done for. So, it's only supposed to bridge the gap until you can get further order of the court.
One thing that I would like to clarify with people, because every time I hear it, it kind of grinds my gears when people refer to injunctions as restraining orders. They're basically the same thing, right?
It is, and it's just what Florida calls them. Like, you'll never receive a court order in Florida that says restraining order. It's an injunction for protection against domestic violence. So, and harassment, the bar is much higher than you think it is. Just because they annoy you doesn't mean you're harassed.
And there are many types of injunctions that one can file in situations such as whether it's domestic violence or what's the other one?
Stalking.
So cyber stalking, right?
Yeah.
So you have options if someone is assaulting you, harassing you, and not physically or verbally. Social media is one way that you can pull out a
right. Now, again, the burden is very high. So a couple of posts on social media, the court's going to be like, block him, right?
All right, let's get that one out of the way. Thank you so much for that question. The next one, my ex-wife signed and judge signed wait, someone has to check this typing, I'm sorry.
You know.
My ex-wife signed and judge signed, if the divorce custody agreement is violated, wife must return money. We agreed if either violated the divorce agreement, all alimony be repaid. How do I enforce this? So I guess they had an agreement when they went through the divorce.
I don't know how enforceable that would be. But maybe you would have to file a motion for enforcement.
So my understanding, I mean, once you're divorced, I mean, you really don't have anything to do with the other person's life, right?
No, wrong. Especially if you have continued things. Like, what would be the point of entering into an agreement and getting a divorce agreement if you can't enforce it?
Mm-hmm.
So there are pretty much anything, if it exists in your divorce decree, we can enforce it, unless it's something that would have been otherwise illegal, right? If you entered into an agreement for sex, no court is going to enforce that. That's not a legal agreement, right? So there are certain things that under the law, the law of the state of Florida says you can't come to an agreement no matter how bad you want to on this issue. It becomes not enforceable. But for most things related to equitable distribution or alimony like this, you can enforce it by bringing them back to court, making them pay your attorney's fees, doing all this song and dance to get your money paid, and to force them to act, to force them to do the thing that they need to do.
Okay. So read carefully before you sign your final judgment, huh?
Yeah, how about not do it without a lawyer, even if you think you could?
All right. Speaking of lawyer, right here, the question comes in. What type of lawyer do I speak with to file suit against DCF and the county I live in?
You're going to have a very high burden to file a lawsuit against DCF. But there are attorneys out there. I have a few colleagues who file suit against them. They're very rare because you need to have some very extreme circumstances. Not you didn't like it that much, right? Not it made you angry, not and anything like that. Though that's not how this works, right? Not it isn't fair. None of it's fair. Okay, it's never fair, right? You have rights, but it is not fair. So, you know, I definitely there's I don't know what type of lawyer. It's usually a civil lawsuit lawyer, right? It's going to be civil rights. It's going to be constitutional rights. It's going to really depend on the specifics of exactly what happened. But not divorce and custody. I don't sue DCF. It's not my my realm. Typically I help parents who are fighting with each other.
So normally, like, not going against DCF.
No, I will take those cases, but I take them on a more limited basis.
Okay.
I gotta be a real special client if I want to take my cases.
Our next question: can you be taken into custody if you have a juvenile warrant? When she was 16, she missed court. Will they have a warrant on her, being that she's 18 now?
I don't know. Call the police.
Yeah,
They still have an active warrant.
Question right there.
Yeah, it is. But I would call them and see if the warrant is still active. If it is, they'll want you to just fall into their web. Mm-hmm. And perhaps if you have a warrant or you had a warrant, that's what you want to hire an attorney for and have them resolve it.
Because warrants just don't go away.
They may, the court may drop it, statute of limitations may fall, any number of things, but they might not. If you have a warrant out for you for murder, that's not going away.
So yeah, contact the court in your county and find out what steps you need to take to move forward on that one. All right, let's go to the next one. Okay. My ex is a lesbian. My daughter has been my daughter has been searching and watching videos on the web about lesbian relationships. I fear that she has seen things around her mother that she shouldn't be seeing. What can I do?
What do you mean? Like, I realize this person is not here to answer my comment, but you know, what do you mean by that? What do you think your daughter's seeing? To women who love each other? Who cares?
You know, I hate to say, like, it sounds like this gentleman may be closed-minded. Or just not
a bigot? Is that the word you're looking for? Homophobic. You know, again, it's they're you are speaking about a human being. So what your assumption is that you think, and I'm going to reach here, right? I'm going to take this to the extreme. And I know if I were talking on the phone to this person, they would say, no, that's not true. That's not what I mean.
Get on that soapbox.
Right. But, and typically I can make good examples by giving very extreme examples. So that's what I'm going to do here.
Okay.
So if I make you uncomfortable, you don't understand what I'm saying. Is what you're saying that you believe your wife shows her porn? Because being a lesbian has nothing to do with that. That's sexual child abuse, right? That's the problem, not lesbian, right? What I suspect from this is perhaps that the problem is that you don't like lesbians. And if the court sniffs that out, like, hide it better. your bigot's showing. Go ahead and pull that down.
I wanted to say the term, he seems a little butthurt, but then that could be taken a different way.
Perhaps that is why, right? But, again, she's still a person. She's still a person who has another person that she loves. And I don't think lesbian, straight, bisexual, and any of the any form in which you choose to have your sexuality, or any way in which your sexuality has become, you not choose your sexuality, but any way in which you have your own sexuality is not related to how good or bad of a parent you are. It's what other decisions you make, because there are many straight parents who make very bad decisions with their children and abuse them, and they are otherwise considered straight.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Thank you so much for that odd question right there. Let's go to the next one. Can I scratch out my responses from a text message to my child's father?
No!
And just use his. He is very abusive and insulting. I want to show in court. So that's
no. If you scratch out your text messages, first of all, there's a rule of completeness. So there's a evidentiary rule that means and says basically that you need to give them the complete document if they so request it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So scratching out your responses, you cannot do. And if you need to scratch out your responses and then you want to blame him for being, abusive and insulting, the judge probably wants to see what you have to say. If your messages are abusive and insulting as well, both of you are at fault, and the court won't see him as abusive and insulting. They will see both of you as a major problem that lacks communication skills. So, water rises to its own level is kind of what the judge is going to say.
Mm-hmm.
You can't, pot calling the kettle black. I was looking for that phrase. It wasn't in the Rolodex.
Thank you so much for that question. So do not tamper with the evidence.
No.
The next one. I'm not married to my son's father, and I want to leave Florida due to domestic violence. Can he sue me for kidnapping?
No, he has no rights unless he has already established to them. And if you are the victim of domestic violence, I would leave fast, stat. In Florida, you can file an injunction for protection for domestic violence, right? Not your restraining order. We call them injunctions in any county. So I hope, and my assumption is that other states would allow you to do something similar, and you could file for protection in the state in which you move to. So, their notice requirements, however they handle it, is a question for an attorney there. But if moving out of state is what's going to protect you for domestic violence and truly your child, do it. Go fast.
Get out of there, huh?
Yeah. If you need some snacks on the way, let me know.
All right. Our next one is, my baby daddy is an alcoholic, and when he gets drunk, he always threatens to take my babies away. I'm literally copying and pasting as we get them.
Hey, it is what it is. You don't wanna mess up what they say, right? It's what they say.
Our divorce was finished 2 years ago. Can he do this?
No.
So
Not with exclusively those facts. There are things that you would have to do, and a process he would have to go through. You would have to have notice, a number of things, right? This isn't just he could pick them up and carry them out. They're not a sack of bricks that he can just move to another location. So no. And if he did, it would be parental kidnapping. And if you need some help because he's an alcoholic and he's abusive, my phone number's on the screen, I think.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to put it right there on the bottom.
Don't let that abuse continue. We have tactics to figure it out. Your children deserve better.
Exactly. Thank you so much for your question. Let's go to the next one. And here we go. Can a parent hide a 17-year-old's ID, birth certificate, to social security card, even if the kid wants to work or move out? His mother forces him to work for her and doesn't allow him to find another job. Wow.
Yeah.
So
you're 18, you don't really have rights. Also, go to, you can get new copies of all those things.
oh, that's right. But even without him having his
Go online if you know the numbers. Go online, order a new card, a new license. You can order a replacement online. Have it mailed. Make sure you're checking the mail. You can probably take your license to go get a replacement birth certificate. I don't even think you need to show that it's yours from the Office of Vital Statistics. And then you could probably get a replacement social security card.
Yeah, those take about like 3 weeks to come in.
I'm all those things you can replace. Why don't you find out how to replace all those things and don't worry about it.
Quick Google check and help you out.
Yeah.
All
Good
right.
luck, bro. But yeah, at 17 she can do that. She can not allow you to have a job. You'll be 18 soon enough. I know it seems like an eternity away, but bide your time, behave yourself. She sounds mean, sounds unreasonable, but she may have her reasons. Just hang tight. You'll get through.
What was that? Okay, sorry. Next one. How do I get a divorce while my husband is in jail?
Oh, girl, call me. I got you. That'd be so easy. We know where he is. He's gonna be served. It's fine. You'll get a divorce.
So there are no restrictions if the person is in jail?
No, they're not like, oh, he's in jail. We feel bad for him. You can't divorce him. He needs your love. No, we don't do that. Even if he's like the nicest guy ever, they're not gonna be like, you shouldn't stay married to him because he's so nice.
So with I just want to get more information on this one. So with him being in jail, I'm sure because once he gets served with the petition with all this paperwork, he has days to
20 days, like everyone.
And even with him being in jail, they're not going to come slide.
No, he's got all the time in the world to prepare paperwork. You weren't busy working, like what? He ain't too busy to figure it out. Like no, yeah.
So she can move forward, serve him in jail, and just run the clock at that point.
In fact, she should.
So take advantage while he's locked up.
Right.
Thank you so much for that one.
We'll have him appear by phone. We're doing that shit now. They won't even have to transport him. It's great. Now's a great time. God, call me. I feel like Carly Rae Jepsen. Call me, maybe.
Our next one is, I watch my nieces and nephew while my sister works.
I don't care.
She's going through a custody dispute with her soon-to-be ex-husband. If he calls DCF, can they come to my house and demand I take a drug test?
I mean, it's DCF. They fuck things up all the time.
They do. They really do.
It just depends on what part of like the case you're involved in. Are they going to try and figure out if you're a person that they should shelter the children with? Are they going to place the children with you under that circumstance? Yes, they would do that. But if they're not going to place the children with you, it's really not going to matter. But if they were calling DCF on you, saying that maybe you abuse children, or they think you gave the children drugs, or anything like that, DCF could drug test you. But it's only, again, if you become a party to the DCF case.
So DCF actually has that power to ask you for a drug test if you're watching kids?
I mean, if they think you abused children and they need to convict you of a crime, yeah, it's like asking if they can arrest you if they think you convicted a crime.
Oh, wow. I didn't know DCF was that powerful.
They are the state of Florida.
All right, thank you so much. So
we just give them a different name because they deal with the children.
Thank you so much for that question. Let's go to the next one. I'm a truck driver, and I have two beds in my truck. I am able to take my son with me am I able to take my son with me for overnights?
I mean, I don't think it's illegal, but do you really want to?
Mother has been denying me time sharing because I'm always on the road. I keep losing days with my son.
I think a court would not have a child in the truck. Again, this is going to be a best interest analysis. But I feel pretty strongly that the court would side with mom that your son shouldn't be spending the night in your truck. How are you going to get him to school?
Well, that's a good one.
Sounds awkward. But no, that's not a home. That's not restful sleep. That's not, you can't move. That's probably not appropriate. Now, is there a law that says truck drivers equals no custody? No, that's not a thing. So again, we have to, You know that Lady Justice? She's got the little blindfold on. She holds the scales.
Is that her actual name?
She is Lady Justice.
Lady Justice, not no Greek name,
She's
nothing like that.
Erin Morse. No, it's Lady Justice. But yeah, that they would kind of balance the facts on this situation. Perhaps that maybe if you only had overnights in your home by about 10 p.m. and you only had to be in your car for 2 to 3 hours, maybe that wouldn't be considered by the court not to be great. But if it were all night and you actually didn't, go home, you didn't find the home, that's a little bit different. That would be kind of a different analysis. So, it just because you have a job and a good job doesn't mean it's what's perfect for your child.
I mean, do you really want to be taking your kid to work?
I mean,
especially if you're driving cross country, or I know truck drivers don't even have like the best diet, or I would agree. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I imagine it's got to be hard to balance that, and it's still hard work, right?
Oh, definitely.
It's hard work to keep your mind clear and focused and do that, and I imagine a child would be distracting.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I have one that's distracting or anything.
Thank you so much for that question. Be safe on the road. All right, the next one we have. What can I do at the age of 17?
Nothing.
Yeah, basically. And can I go out without my parents' permission? I have a job, a car, and pay taxes. We're getting a lot of youngsters who are sending us messages on.
Quarantine must be getting to them.
So
nothing.
Nothing.
You have to listen to your parents.
Yeah. So once again, we clarify that if you're not 18, you got to listen to your mom and dad, right?
You have a constitutional right. It's your constitutional right to have crappy parents.
Thank you so much for that question. Another
America.
one. I'm 17 years old, and my parents divorced about 2 years ago. My mother had sole custody, but recently died due to corona. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry. I'm currently staying with my aunt, but my dad wants to take me. Do I have to go?
Well, I can't answer this yet. Did your dad's parental rights get terminated? Or did your mom just have custody? Because this sounds like an analysis from a different state.
Because we don't here, there's no sole custody, right?
Well, you would have sole parental responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of the strictest analysis before termination of parental rights.
Okay.
Right? But if that wasn't what happened in your case, typically the other parent gets custody of the child once the other one predeceases the remaining parent.
So unless the father lost full parental rights, he would have to go with the father.
Under Florida law, right? Since you said sole custody, I'm thinking another state. So
thank you so much for the question.
Good luck. Have your dad call me. Because that's who I'd represent.
All right. Our final question comes in and says, my ex filed a motion to suspend my time sharing unless I agree to end all contact between our children and my boyfriend. My boyfriend had his drug charges dropped. What can happen with my situation?
I mean, it's going to depend on a lot of things, but on these limited facts, I don't know what the drug charges were. Maybe they were weed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Probably it won't succeed, and it will sound like your ex is petty. So if they filed that, you need to respond. I know our response isn't always mandatory, but I think it would be best that you respond. And you need to show up to that hearing. You need to not ignore it is really your big picture. So and again, is the motion an emergency motion? Was it granted? When's your hearing? What does it say? What's the status of your boyfriend? Also, don't be dating deadbeats. So write that one down under the you're welcome column.
Oh man, well those are some really some questions that were all over the place today. Thank you so much for everyone participating. We did get a text message question that I'm going to pass along to you.
Oh shoot!
There you go.
Okay.
And we don't have to say the individual's name.
Hi, my name is Minnie Mouse. Okay. Yeah, so this has a question about common law partners' interest in property. Florida does not have common law partners. So already, I don't know how we discern what the common law interest in property is. And if you're not married, you don't get to have access to each other's property. There's no property analysis, and property can't be dealt with in a paternity action. So you'd have to file a civil suit on property. It says we have not discussed custody and access. Again, you'd be under a paternity analysis, which you cannot deal with property. In a paternity case, you cannot deal with property, and there's no common law marriage. Okay. He said he wants to stay in the basement with his mother. His mother been living in a self-contained unit. They bought a house close by, but construction will not be completed until December 2020. I did not agree, as our separation is not close to being amicable. He called Child Protection Agency on me and police twice. Just too much. You have to call me. You have a lot of moving parts, and I'm truly concerned with your case, and I really want to move forward with this on you, with you on this. What are my options? I was told I'm being unreasonable due to COVID. He even told me that he doesn't agree with the buyout. So if he doesn't actually own the home, he has no rights to the home. And if you're the only owner on it, he can, kick rocks. You can tell Goofy and Mrs. Cow. What's the cow's name?
Oh my God.
Annabelle.
Is it Annabelle? Annabelle Claire? Yeah, Annabelle. Is it?
I don't know.
Oh man. Because I should know this, because when I was friends with the characters at Disney's, I was friends with Goofy.
Clarabelle Cow.
Clarabelle.
Not Annabelle.
Thank you so much on that one, Marcos. We have a research department.
Yeah, our research department. our office manager who's killing it. I really want to talk to you.
So we have their information, so we'll reach out to them again and let them know.
Clarabelle Cow. Thank you, Melissa. It's not Annabelle. I think Annabelle is from a horror movie.
Oh, the doll.
The doll.
The doll. There it is. Oh man.
Oh,
so
I know that's a lot. That's a lot of layers, and you really need the advice of an attorney, and I'm sorry that you're going through this. This really sounds awful, and you really don't deserve it. So let's help you work through these issues and help you find your way, because you have a lot of issues. You have a property issue. You potentially have to remove him as a tenant. You may have to have them evicted, and you have a custody issue, and you are probably gonna have maybe a civil action if there's more to this, right? So I see 4 different causes of action. Yeah, Melissa got me. She does. She sure does. So yeah, I can help you.
So we will reach out to Clarabelle Cow to get all the information and assist you a little bit more.
Also, when you send us questions, we keep them confidential. So even when you see a name, I made it up.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a real name.
Exactly.
Right. We attach names because then it really helps these issues be more personable. But we've never disclosed someone's name. We put another name that we had come up with. Again, confidentiality, a big deal. When you speak to an attorney, you have confidentiality even before you establish an attorney-client relationship, right? I may not even be representing you, but if you sought my advice, that's confidential. So again, these issues are confidential. When you ask us a question, we don't say who asked the question. So don't hold back. If you have a question and you'd like it answered, you're not sure you're ready to make that jump into, going in front of an attorney, we will answer it. I have this here for that purpose, so that you don't have to, put yourself in a place where you're worried about whatever kind of pressure might happen from a one-on-one. We answer all of the questions that we get. That's why some things are a little crazy come up on here, but we will answer your question. If you give us the opportunity, we'll answer it.
All right. Once again, we do thank you. We do thank everybody for their questions and their time, and all the people that were watching today.
Mm-hmm.
What do you got planned for the weekend?
I don't want to do anything. staying home and being in quarantine hasn't been that bad for me. I'm a bit of a homebody. So it was an easier transition. I know I'm very A-type and pretty social, but since I work and I have a very social job where I have to communicate with people, I have to be out there doing things, I have, to get a lot done. It's easy for me to also enjoy my home time. So my son has loved it. He is I understand he's 8, but he's like a family man. Even times when I've been like, hey, I have to go do maybe a Zoom hearing and I like to do it from here because our internet can be a little bit stronger. I'm like, hey, I have to go to the office. Do you want to come with me? And he's like, is Grandma home?
Aww.
I'd like to stay home with, Nana Beth. And I'm like, you want to stay home? Like, you don't want to go out? I'm like, I'll get you a donut at Dunkin' Donuts. Like, I like coffee. No, he would rather stay home. He would rather have a home cooked meal. He would rather stay home and watch movies. This has been like, did you ever see that meme about it was like a tweet or something about a woman who her dog seemed to stop wagging his tail. And the vet said it's because it was strained from wagging it so much because everybody had been home. That's like my son if he had a tail, right? He'd be wagging comes up and he's like, I love you, Mom. He gives me a hug. He's so sweet.
One of my favorite.
Let me interject, Kyle. I'm glad that this was informative to you, and I hope you have a question at this time. In the podcast, we're going to talk about weird random things. So if you have a random topic, now is the time for the good of the order, or pretty much it's like an open floor topic that as people send us comments about not related to divorce, this is when we talk about it. So Kyle, pressure's on.
So we'll give him a few moments to see if he comes up with one. One of the funniest memes I've seen during this quarantine is a dog on top of a cabinet. And his owner is looking up at him, and the other dog is looking up at too. And the caption is, "I've been walked by every effing member of this family. Leave me the F alone."
Oh, I love the iterations of that one. It's so funny. I ain't going on another walk. Yeah, I went on 3 walks today already. Yeah, it's that. Those are funny. I love internet humor, right? I suppose this is what we live on now that we're in quarantine. Might be like the worst pandemic our generation has dealt with, but at least the internet's on.
Oh yeah, no. The live concerts that all these artists have been doing, are pretty spectacular. The only celebrity that I have a complaint about,
well, watch out, he's gonna hear it. Go ahead.
Ellen.
Really?
Yeah.
I love Ellen
because. One, I feel so bad that she keeps whatever his name is, Andy, or the dude that she just throws out to do all the crazy crap. They keep him outside the house. He's literally in the backyard, in the patio, behind the glass. And on top of that, her audio is crap. It's honestly one of the worst audios out of all these talk shows, whether it's late night or daytime. Her audio is the worst. And I can't stand it.
All right, Kyle, I hear you. You came through. So again, this is unpopular opinion. All right, I'm going to answer both of these. And so is Patricio. My favorite Batman actor is Ben Affleck. But all right, slow down. It's because I love Ben Affleck. My family's originally from Boston, even though I've been here for about 14 years. He's a hometown hero. I'm from like a really small town. I expressed to Patricio very recently how small of a town I was from. I looked up the population of the town I was from, and it is like barely a sneeze. Okay, so he visited our town once.
Oh, no.
This was back when he was dating.
Was this like when the Pope comes into town?
Better. And we're Catholic. But he was with J-Lo.
Okay.
And from what I'm told, I didn't meet him, right? So again, whatever. What do I even know? J-Lo was very standoffish, and she almost seemed like she saw a ghost every time someone came up to her.
Oh.
That was the impression, right? So nothing really negative, but she was uncomfortable. And Ben was gracious and interesting and funny and came into our cute little coffee shop, and everybody liked him, and he was really nice and friendly, and it's my Batman. But we all know Christian Bale was the best Batman. But Ben Affleck, he's right.
I feel with Christian Bale, like
yeah, Heath Ledger also for the Joker. I agree, Kyle.
ooh,
Heath Ledger was a good Joker. Now that's not fair because my husband looks like what Joker?
You guys.
Sam look like?
Oh, Sam.
The short-haired one with the girlfriend.
Oh, Jared Leto.
Yeah. Think about it. The smile.
Yeah, I see it. I totally see it.
Right?
I kind of want to do a comparison
green,
right
yeah.
now.
If we dyed his hair green, and so I'm real impressed with my husband. So whatever. He impresses me. I like him. Don't try. Right? That's like rule number one. Don't try on him. I am from a small town. It's a village. It's actually not a town. Buzzards Bay.
Buzzards Bay.
Yeah.
So
I think it has a population of approximately 3,000.
I am going to jump on his question regarding.
Yeah, I want to hear your opinion. That's Batman.
I'll give Ben Affleck. He was a great Bruce Wayne. He was an amazing Bruce Wayne, along with Christian Bale as a great Bruce Wayne. But
I think Ben was a better Bruce Wayne.
Ben was a better Bruce Wayne, but in all honesty, and I might get some feedback for this one.
Don't ask me.
Adam West. Adam West.
Marcos, you're about to get called out. Marcos is here working because he's our new office manager, so he's here late. And he heard Adam West, and his laughter was so genuine in that moment. It was so good. No, keep going. I'm sorry.
But yeah, no, Adam West as the best Batman, because when he portrayed Batman, like no one knew how he really was except in the comic book. So Adam West was the very first real live action Batman.
Mm-hmm.
So his interpretation, he did his best. He took from the comic book as much as he could. And at that time, like I said, there really weren't that many the superheroes that were out there at that time were cowboys, I think that's basically it. Like, the cowboys, the outlaws, things like that. And when Adam West took the role of Batman, he made it his own. And it was a little bit eccentric, but I say for me, Adam West is my favorite Batman. But
favorite Joker,
Mark Hamill. Yeah. So from Batman the animated series, the voice of the Joker.
Actor.
He's a voice actor.
You answered the question you wanted to answer, not the question that was asked. I say that to my clients all the time. I'm like, do not answer the question you want to answer. Answer the question that's asked.
Oh. Jack Nicholson's my favorite Joker.
Yeah, I felt like he seemed a little out of place.
So you're gonna say Heath Ledger for you?
Listen, my husband's watching. He goes, "You lying bitch." He's not being serious. We have a good relationship. He goes, "Heath was the best Joker." That was so funny. Heath was the best Joker, but like the Jared Leto resemblance to my husband, who I think is fly as hell. I'm like, I can't help it. I'm like, yeah, it's whatever. My husband also looks like a weird combination, not a weird combination, a very attractive combination of Jared Leto and what's his name?
Name the movie or name the show.
The other hometown hero from Boston, Ben Affleck's friend. Oh my God, why am I drawing a blank? Matt Damon.
Oh my God.
Right?
Wow.
Obviously, I like staring at his face all hot, and I'm like, oh, Eugene.
Now I'm not gonna be able to get that out of my head.
I know. The smile.
He does. Nothing against him.
He said, "Stop it."
Sam, I love you, bro.
But I have an Apple Watch.
You do have like that psycho smile.
It's awesome.
Who would you say was your favorite Superman? If we're
oh my God, Henry Cavill. It's like,
really him?
Yeah. Matt. What do you mean, Matt?
Matt?
I don't know. He just texted me, Matt.
Oh. So you say
Henry Cavill.
Henry Cavill. I want to say that.
No. His Superman movies were literally like a reality show. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
He is Superman. We're just blessed enough that he lives at our time. He is Superman.
Oh, I want the Dean Cain for me from The Adventures of Lois and Clark.
Henry Cavill. Have you seen Henry Cavill?
He's gorgeous. I know he's gorgeous. I say that with no shame. He's a very attractive man.
My husband goes, "Fuck Superman."
Oh yeah, no, he's a Deadpool. He's a Deadpool guy.
Oh yeah, he actually. My husband, he's so cool. He really is. He has a tattoo on his leg of Deadpool dressed as Han Solo.
It's a beautiful
It's
tattoo.
really cool.
It really is. Oh man, Sam, you should join us next time once we dive into.
I know I'm gonna get him on here one of these times.
And one of these, I'll send him a link and we'll put him in via video. So
he'll come.
He'll come in.
Yeah, he quarantined with me, so he can be next to me. I don't care what the judge says.
All right, but shout out to Kyle Nunez. Shout out
Thanks,
to
Kyle.
Melissa.
If you come up with another good topic for the end of our Q&A.
For real, you know what? We'll give it to Kyle real quick. Let's see if he can come up with something before we.
Yeah, he had asked, so I'll give him a moment to come up with something else because he came up with good ones. I like it. I like your style. He asked what small town I'm from, and I said Buzzards Bay, and he said I have no idea where that is. Nobody does.
Who's your favorite Batman villain?
Oh, I mean the Joker, but like it's obviously Joker, right? So let's move that like aside. I do like Harley Quinn.
Okay.
Obviously, she's cool as hell, right? For obvious reasons. Batman villain. Oof. Other than Joker, right? Because obviously it's Joker.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know.
Because for me,
if not Joker, I don't know. Mr. Freeze, but that's only because he like stands out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
good, but like you know his backstory, right?
Mr. Freeze.
Yeah.
Only the one that came up in the movie that he fell in the cryogenic whatever, and he needed to be kept cold because he was trying to solve his wife's.
Exactly. I mean, that's seriously the same from the comic books.
Okay.
It's the same story, and I feel bad because he was trying to do good, and then society like basically just made him a bad guy.
Bane's a good one.
That's
a good call, Kyle.
No.
Nice. Kyle's one of us now.
He really is. Welcome to the show, Kyle.
Welcome to the team.
But look at the time. Where are we at right now?
Yeah, I wanted to like Poison Ivy. I just didn't.
Are we talking about the movie rendition or just the character itself?
The character itself was cool. I wanted to like the movie rendition.
I couldn't do it either.
I couldn't either. I wanted to.
She
had all the makings of a villain. I would have really been like, fucking environment, yeah.
But no, Uma Thurman as Poison Ivy was just like she was just too out there, too eccentric, too what's the word I'm looking for? Exaggerated.
It just didn't hit the mark. And Uma Thurman, I feel like that about her. Sometimes she when am I going to be on the side of chaos? I mean, it's his podcast.
You've been on.
I haven't. I was last week.
Yeah, you were on last week.
And I was another one time for a little bit. I don't know. Maybe
we'll work something out.
In the next month. Yeah. How about that?
Because
you asked. Because you asked, Kyle.
But perfect actor to villain.
Sam goes, ugly. Ugly is the word you're looking for. with her. I wish he was here. He's my favorite person, obviously.
But
not the hot redhead she should have been. Yeah, I agree. We could have found that. Emma Stone. What do you say, Sam? Emma Stone. But Emma Stone's not evil, so she wouldn't have done well evil.
What about? Oh, what's her name? She was in Les Mis and the Prince, not Princess Diaries.
No, because she was Catwoman. The lame Catwoman.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Yeah,
and
she
it was
I like her.
garbage. No,
Michelle Pfeiffer.
no. I'm not talking about Michelle Pfeiffer. First of all, Michelle Pfeiffer was the best Catwoman of them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Past and present.
Right. I did not like. What is her name?
I can't remember her name now. Marcos. What's
the bad Catwoman, the recent one.
And not Halle Berry.
No.
We don't talk about that one.
Yeah.
She was in Les Mis.
And Princess Diaries.
Princess Diaries. Wasn't she in
the brunette?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anne Hathaway.
Anne Hathaway. Way to go, Alex, with the name she prefers. Yeah. And Sam goes, Anna sucked. Like he knows her. Anna. So yeah, I Catwoman could have been. Penguin was a good villain.
Mm-hmm. I like the Gotham Penguin more than the Danny DeVito Penguin.
I don't know. Danny DeVito was cool.
Yeah, he was.
He was cool.
I do.
Yeah.
And I see Kyle just put in Anne Hathaway.
Yeah, you got it. I don't know. We were like,
Shakespeare's wife's name was Anne Hathaway.
Was it really?
And Anne Hathaway's husband, like the current Anne Hathaway, was just like Shakespeare.
it's because they've been alive for like 300 years. Yeah.
Wow,
You didn't know about that?
I didn't know that.
I think it's like a meme conspiracy theory, so not parts of the internet with any validity.
Okay.
It's
FYI, Cesar Romero was the best Joker.
who?
Ooh. Oh, I kind of want to bring Marcos in on that one.
I'm not gonna put that
Marcos.
on the air, Samuel.
Marcos, make your argument. Why Cesar Romero? Get on your knees.
Oh, wait, it's PG. It's all right. Step on over.
Cesar Romero? Well,
Yeah.
he epitomizes what the Joker is. He's crazy. He's goofy. He doesn't hurt nobody. Nobody wants to be hurt by the Joker. Come on.
I think the Cesar Romero Joker just made everyone laugh, or like the laughing gas or something like that. But you're right. He never really actually hurt anybody.
It was just so nuts that he had a mustache and then painted over it.
Batman wears eyeliner, like heavy eyeliner.
Yeah, that's like some what do we call it when we put a lot of dark eyeshadow?
Emo?
Smoky eye.
Smoky eyes.
Okay.
I was
Ugly?
like,
Yeah.
there's like emo bands do that too. There's makeup special.
Yeah, they're really not.
But Christian Bale with the shadowing, like his eyes completely disappeared, and he had like these little white dots. It
I
always
know.
freaked me out.
I know. Sam goes, Heath is the best. Heath was the best.
Yeah, we'll give it to Heath. So Heath wins.
Heath
Ben
wins.
Affleck wins.
FYI, Sam's waiting for you. He told me to make sure you get home on time.
He's texting me right now.
Okay.
And
I
Sam
love
cheating.
Just to
They
make
go-
sure.
I'm such a workaholic that my staff has to be like, go home, like your husband and your son miss you.
And
So,
that's why we are going to say goodbye to everybody. Once again, thank you so much. If
Thank
you'd like to
you.
schedule a conversation with the law office of Erin
yeah,
Morse.
no, I have to answer this. The best Robin would have been the one that would have come through in the most recent one. And they didn't develop him into Robin in the Christian Bale series.
Jordan Gordon.
Yeah, Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah, him.
He would have knocked it out of the park, and I'm still sad they didn't develop that.
Dang.
Okay,
Yeah, I
we're
completely
out.
forgot about him.
He just said you should go by your first name, Robin, and I was like, he just would have been amazing. With Christian Bale, they both would have been like, fuck you and fuck you back, and then they would have just saved the day. Like, they wouldn't have had all that, like, emotional diatribe.
Well, there goes our boost.
Yeah, like, ooh, I know, I'm sorry. Oh, I did it again. But he wouldn't have had all that, like, emotional diatribe that the past Robins have. I get that that's a feature of Robin, but I'm so tired of him being a whiny bitch.
Yeah, no.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
I'm done.
Just close it.
Yeah, we're done. Thank you so much. If you would like to schedule a conversation with attorney Erin Morse, give us a call at 407-900-7451 or
You
go to
can
our
schedule a
website.
consultation and I'll talk superheroes with you.
And go to our website, www.morse-firm.com. Check out our Facebook, check out our social medias. We're all over the place. We're getting out there. And if you see us, share, like, oh, I forgot. Attorney Erin Morse and the law office of Erin Morse have been nominated by Orlando Weekly. So the best kept secret is the law office of Erin Morse. So if you have a chance to go to the Orlando Weekly best of, their page for best of, and
We'll post the link.
yes, we will post the link. We'll and just vote for the law office of Erin Morse as the best kept secret in Orlando, and best big shot non-politician Erin Morse. All right, so we'll put that on the socials.
Yeah, do me a solid.
Thank you so much, and y'all have a great night.
Thank you. Happy weekend.